celebrate that, I would like to take the opportunity to introduce to you the lovely Mrs. Lynn Huber.
Are you excited? I'm excited. Yes. This is a great weekend. So, yeah, I'm Lynn Huber, and I've had a home business since 2001. Richard and I, my husband and I, started this together, and we only started a home business because I had a website that was a hobby site that I was looking for a way to pay for it. Back then, you put database and stuff in, it's like $150 a month. These days, it's but anyway, so I was looking for a way to pay for it. And so we started in this home business, and we were just playing around with it. We had great jobs. We were working a lot of hours, so we didn't have time. And here in 4 months, 16 months into it, we had enough in the bank to pay cash for a brand new car. Nice. And for us, that was kind of a wake-up call. Yeah, we had great jobs, but I was working 60 hours a week. I was commuting 3 hours a day. Richard was working 70 to 80 hours a week in the grocery business. And we were in debt. We had $30,000 in credit card debt. And so it's kind of a wake-up call for us. So he says, what would happen if we got serious? And so we got serious. 2 years later, I was able to retire from my job. And then 2 years after that, we were debt-free. Our house was paid off. Our cars, we had new cars paid off. And we were able to get Richard out of here. So I'm sold on network marketing. But here's the deal. We had this wonderful business, and we worked our way up to be in the top 100 of a 3 million person company. And, but we were working still 80 hours a week. We were still trading time for dollars. And it was like, wow, you know, what happened to our freedom that we were looking for? And so we ended up joining another company that was internet-based. And that helped us get the time freedom. And, you know, so we were loving it. But here's the deal. From the time I first started, it was online. I was sponsoring people online, and they would come to me and they'd say, well, you signed me up online, why can't I do that? You know, and I'm teaching them belly-to-belly methods. But they're like, why can't I do that? But here's the deal, you guys all know this already, but when you're brand new trying to teach somebody how to work an internet marketing business, and you have to like tell them to get your blog over here, get your autoresponder over here, and your webinar, and put them all together. It's kind of a hard learning curve for a new person to do that all at once, and it never worked for us. So 3 years later, I found Pure Leverage, fell in love with it. I mean, here's all these products in one package, and for less than $25 a month. And so this is amazing. I can help my team members, right? So 3 months into Pure Leverage, my income with Pure Leverage passed up the company I'd been working for 3 years hard. And so that's where my focus is now. So sorry, I'm new at speaking, so I have to have notes.
Doing great.
Thanks. So when I started Pure Leverage, I didn't really have a list. I mean, I did have a big list from my first company. That was a lot of customers, a lot of deliveries, a lot of, you know, all of that kind of stuff. And I tried to send them an email, and boy, I got a lot of feedback, you know, quit spamming me, da-da-da. So that list really wasn't going to work for this. And so a lot of you here, I mean, there's a lot of big-time internet marketers here, but there's also a lot like me that didn't have a list, right? And so I'm going to tell you today what works for me. You guys want to hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah? Is it all right if I'm really straight honest with you and I don't sugarcoat it?
Sure.
Okay. First off, who in this room published a blog post today?
Uh-oh.
Come on, today. You guys. Well, that's the first thing I publish a blog post every day. I don't miss a day. And I made that commitment to myself that every day I would publish it. And here you can, like here I'm at convention, right? I wrote them all last week. And I scheduled them to post every day while I'm here at convention. So you can do it. You just have to make that commitment. We like to cruise. Richard and I cruise a lot. Even on a cruise, I'm publishing a blog post every day. Because that's my marketing, you know, that's how I do it. And I have team members on my team that will say, yeah, I'm working it hard. And then, you know, all of a sudden their son's getting married in 3 weeks or their daughter's graduating next month and they can't work their business. And I'm just talking about an hour to 2 hours a day. And, you know, when I had a job, if I asked my boss for a month off because I'm getting married, first off, she'd go, What do you mean you're getting married? You didn't ask me if you could have that time. You know, so I mean, it's just not like that. And some people, you know, if you're just here for a hobby, or you just want to make a little bit of money, or, you know, maybe everybody's different. Everybody has different wants and needs. So maybe you're just looking for a little bit of extra money so you can go out for dinner now and then. That's okay then, you know. It's just you have to make the decision, what do you want out of your business. If you're looking for a part-time, if you're looking for a full-time income, or you're looking for a plan B, you got to put the effort in, right? Take massive action. So the next thing I do is I market or I syndicate my blog posts every day. Because writing a blog post by itself isn't going to do you any good. Nobody's going to find it, right? So I put it out on Facebook, on Twitter, LinkedIn, Google+, StumbleUpon, Pinterest, Tumblr, Delicious, Reddit, Dig, and anywhere else I can find. I also post in some Facebook groups, those that allow it. And I send a broadcast email every single day to everybody on my list. Because my blog posts are value added, I hope. I mean, I intend for them to be. And sending that out every day gives me something to send to my list and helps me to build relationships with them. And I've, you know, some people say that doesn't work. I know some of you have said blogging and marketing doesn't work, but in the last 10 months, I put over 1,000 people in my autoresponder from that. Just from that. So it works. You just have to do it. And then number 3 is I make contact and I follow up. So, you know, my blog posts are, like I said, they're value added. And here's the cool thing, is when I'm marketing on Facebook, I'm not out there saying, we're going to get rich, join my business, you know, look at this now. Instead, I'm saying, how to use Twitter to market your business, or I'm saying, what is an autoresponder and why do you need it? Or maybe it takes time and consistency to build a business, all stuff that people are interested in reading. I have a team member who actually her husband has a pet store, and so she writes her posts about how to take care of pets and what happens if your dog does this and how to build a doghouse. And then at the bottom she says, oh, and if you're looking for a home business, click here. So it doesn't have to be about business, it just has to be something that people are interested in. And then, you know, once people read your blog posts and they start following you and they start seeing what you're doing, then they'll opt into your list because they're interested in you. And then as you build that relationship with them, they're going to raise their hand. They're going to ask you, tell me more. And so you're not going to have to like go and, you know, try to push it on them. And then you want to meet people every day. You want, I mean, offline and online. You want to meet, you know, show it to your friends, show it to people you meet. Maybe you're in the grocery store and you're both standing at the cereal aisle. Start a conversation. Say, hey, have you ever tried that cereal? Or maybe at the check stand you could say, wow, this is a long line. Anything to get a conversation going. You know, just start a conversation. Don't throw up on them. Don't give them your, here, let me tell you about my business. It's more about making friends. And then as time goes by and you build your relationships, then you can start, you know, if they're interested, you can show it to them. And you can do the same thing on Facebook. Like Johnny says, we like each other's posts. We comment on each other. I didn't know Johnny. It was his posts on Facebook. I reached out to him and said, I love what you're posting. And you know what? We became really good friends. And when I saw him today, it was like best friends. It was really cool. So, okay, so then I also, when I was talking about marketing, you know, you still need to do that every day. So I'm here at convention. I get up an hour earlier than I have to. I got up at 6 this morning so that I could syndicate my blog post. I'll stay an hour later every night to check my email, check Facebook, syndicate my blog posts, all of this stuff I do. It's only 2 hours, an hour to 2 hours a day, and even on a cruise, same thing. And I figure that's the cost of me doing business. That's the cost of me being able to live my life the way I want to. We were on a cruise, Richard and I were on a cruise to Hawaii. It was a 2-week cruise, and we were with 3 other couples, and they all have jobs. And they were razzing me that whole week. I can't believe you got your laptop here. I can't believe you're working. You know, I don't even know why they were so upset about it. It wasn't interfering with their stuff. And I told them, I said, you know what? When Monday comes, you have to go to work. I get to sleep in. And I travel every month. I go somewhere. I go to conventions. I go cruises. We go somewhere every month, and I can work my business from anywhere. That's what the freedom is. Just the basics. I only have 15 minutes. You're going to learn about all of this stuff in a lot more detail this weekend. But here's the deal, and here's why you have to do this every day. If you're a big name internet marketer, you're Joel, or you're, you know, all these big name internet marketers that are here, you send out an email to your list of tens of thousands of people and you get 100 people sign up. Cool? We can't do that. We don't have that kind of a list. So we want to build that list so that we can get to that point. And if you do that, you do it every day, you're going to build it. Like I said, I got 1,000 people, over 1,000 people on my list in 10 months. And, you know, we all have to learn. Don't worry if you don't know it. Learning comes with this little process in your brain where you're creating circuits in your brain as you go. And so you go out and you talk to somebody, and maybe you throw up on them, or maybe they, you know, they're mean to you and they say, no, I'm not interested. Well, you leave and you go home, and in your brain, this little circuit turns on and says, that didn't work, don't do that again. And then you go out and you talk to somebody else, and they're all happy to see you, and everything goes great, and so then your brain says, that one worked, and build a little circuit in your brain there. And that's how you learn. Same thing with your blog posts, you know. You put out a blog post that everybody likes and comments on and follows. That was a good blog post. Your brain says, yeah, you did good. And then maybe another time it bombs and nobody even acknowledges it, then you know that subject or that headline. It's all a learning process. We all learn as we go. And like it was said earlier, even the big name marketers, even the ones that are making lots of money now, they have the same learning process. So you're here, and so what if you say the wrong thing to somebody? Because you're going to learn, and the next time you'll get better at it. So you're here, and that's what's important. And what's important is you're talking to people. When I get nervous, I talk a lot fast.
Don't worry about it.
So I guess really I'd just like to end it. I have a quote from Steve Jobs. So can we get that put up? I love this quote. I live by it. I have it above my desk because especially as internet marketers, we run into the shiny object syndrome. And how many times do we buy these programs that teach us all this stuff, and then we spend all this money and we either never use it or you know, get overwhelmed. And so he says, people think focus means saying yes to the thing you've got to focus on. But that's not what it means at all. It means saying no to the 100 other good ideas that are there. You have to pick carefully. So I guess that's it. Thank you guys for letting me be up here. And don't forget, what are we going to do? Take massive action.